What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome today with the new Sandbox that came out in Act 3. Yes, I know we're going to get a nice new little Bungie article here, probably today as this video drops at least, with Crucible changes, Trials changes coming up, but right now, the Sandbox, how it is, we got some buffs and nerfs for the Crucible realm, especially with these lightweight frame pulse rifles that we got going on. You can see the nice little buff that these bad boys got. It was a pretty good little buff in my personal opinion, and these two pulse rifles I have seen the most in the first 2 weeks here that the season or act has been out, and they are oppressive in my personal opinion, especially if you are really good. The first bad boy that we got right here for our pulse rifles is that Stay Frosty from the Dawning. This bad boy is absolutely dapping people up in the Crucible, and we got ourselves a nice little origin trait on this bad boy with Amalon Fluid Dynamics. This weapon is increased speed, reload wise, a stability for the top half of the magazine. Definitely pretty nice for that Crucible realm, especially with that stability. Same kind of concept as what we went through our auto rifles yesterday. I went with a range masterwork on this bad boy with small bore in our barrel. For me, I went with accurized rounds in the second column here. Third column, my number one choice would be Lone Wolf that you could throw on. You could also do something like moving target or killing wind, but that is totally up to you. I'm more of a Lone Wolf kind of guy though. And last but not least, we got ourselves Head Seeker. Definitely your best option here. What I would go with is Head Seeker with Lone Wolf as your 5 out of 5 with that small bore range masterwork as well as our accurized rounds. But as a last option, if you will, or an extra option, Desperado also feels pretty fun on this weapon because it's already shooting decently quick. When you can get this to proc with it, you get faster handling, everything like that because of the frame, and then you're going to melt Guardians with that fast shooting, so good option as well. But definitely that Head Seeker, Lone Wolf, accurized, and small bore is my go-to. The second one, and definitely I know you guys have seen it, it's probably one of the most used guns inside of the Crucible right now. We got ourselves the BXR Battler. Yes, this does say legacy frame, but it is still the same exact 450 RPM lightweight frame like the Stay Frosty, just a little bit different because of its BXR Battler. You know how it came out, Halo, etc. But we got ourselves Hot Swap on this bad boy as our origin trait. Switching to this weapon while you are damaged strongly increases its handling, swords gain increased charge time. We're not going to worry about that. So for us, our handling gets way up there, all the way up by 30 when we are damaged, so pretty good for the Crucible. First column, we got range as our masterwork with that good old small bore because we're gonna have 80 in both range and stability on this bad boy. Personal choice here in the second column, I would go with ricochet rounds as your number one choice, but you could also do accurized rounds, a very good second option. Third column, your number one choice is that perpetual motion. Definitely feels the best to me, but we also got killing wind as well with the final blows giving us mobility, range, and handling, so not a bad option, but for me, perpetual is the number one. Last column, I really like kill clip as my number one option, especially in sixes. When you get this to proc, you can absolutely, and I mean absolutely, melt Guardians because of its range, stability, everything like that. Plus, we get 25% increased damage because of kill clip. It definitely my number one choice. If you aren't feeling that though, you got yourself Eye of the Storm. This weapon becomes more accurate as the boost in handling and stuff as your health gets low, so it is a good option. And Trusty Dusty, like I said, definitely feels a little bit better in my opinion on something like a hand cannon, but Eye of the Storm right here, also a good option. But like I said, kill clip, perpetual motion, that ricochet with small bore, and a range masterwork gives this thing some pretty crazy stats. So like I said, range, stability, both at 80, and this thing is dapping people up, so I would personally go with this right now as your probably number one option if I'm being completely honest. For pulse rifles, this thing is eaten inside of the Crucible. Both of these technically are, but BXR is definitely used more that I've seen overall inside of the Crucible, but very fun little weapons to throw on. Definitely should give them a try out. Grind these bad boys out. You can craft the BXR Battler, Stay Frosty. You can make that thing enhanced, so two good options. But again, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you guys for always coming back to the channel. Means a lot to me, means a lot to the channel. Don't be afraid to like it, subscribe if you haven't joined that Discord as as well. Slap that bell. Got a lot going on here with Heresy coming out in a couple weeks, or about a week, 10 days from now. So love you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.